Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGameLLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be taking a look at Burgle Bros 2, The Casino Capers, designed by Tim Fowers and Jeff Krause, illustrated by Ryan Goldsberry, and published by Fowers Games. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Now right off the bat, you're going to see that we've actually removed the bottom portion. So there's a small sleeve that you can use to hold your box together to keep everything nice and tight. But honestly, I found it very annoying to have to take it off every time, and I was actually damaging it every time I used it. So I just threw it away. It's really improved quality of life with getting this game out and getting it played. Now that being said, this game is going to be fully sleeved, so let's go ahead and see what's inside. So right off the bat, this cover is actually on the top of the game, and this is how you're going to want to be storing it. So you want to store it with the bottom. This has no lid lift, but let's take a look inside. So right off the bat, we're going to flip it over, and you'll see the back here opens up. So we're going to open up this back, and inside you'll see that we have two playmats. So these playmats we just roll up, and they go in these nice little slots here. This game does contain game trays, and we actually are going to be using the game tray that comes with it. But you'll see how we organize it in a second. You also have these little poles that you're going to be putting in as legs to the game, and you'll put them in the corners there when you play if you'd like to use this surface as a 3D surface. So you've got 4 of your legs in here that'll go in the corners, and you'll stick them into each corner. And those will go in those side sections. Up next in the central area, we have the game tray insert that does come with it, and we are definitely going to be keeping this, but let's see how we actually organize it. So we lift open the top here, and you'll see that we have all of the different wall tokens here, all our poker chips. We have our 2 blue dice, as well as our tokens, and these are organized by type for the different characters, and we have the safe tokens, and then we have a variety of different tokens here. So these you can just sort by color and put them all in these 2 columns. So really nice there. We've also got all of our additional plastic clear cubes here. And then in this section over here, we have all the miniatures. And we went ahead and stickered all of them as well. So just as a reference, in case you haven't stickered your copy yet, you've got your big brown coffin-looking shapes. These are going to be the bouncers. You got this little dude. He's green. We got our second green as the hacker, as the janitor. We've got our demolition guy. And then the hexagons here, they are going to have the exclamation points for the alerts. This one doesn't get a sticker, no sticker, no sticker, no sticker. All the dice are in there. We've got our Elvis impersonator, the Rook, Mr. Rook. We've got our, our chef, the Raven. Our acrobat. And then we've got the juicer, that's a new one, new character. And lastly, got someone on the floor. So those are all the minis. They're just gonna go in this compartment on the left here. Next, you'll find that we have our sets of cards. So we're actually gonna be putting in this section just the 2 sets of cards for the bouncers, for the floors. So on this top one, we're gonna be putting the bouncers for floor 2. And this bottom one, we're going to be putting the bouncers for floor 1. That includes their distracted cards. We have 3 for each of them. Underneath that, you'll notice that we actually have tiles in here. So we're going to put some of the tiles, including some you'll put face down, including the escalator and the owner's office and safe. But every other tires, you can just put whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. So those all just go in here. So you're going to put 5 tiles on the top one and 5 tiles on the bottom one, including those 4 I mentioned. Now the reason you're going to do this is because you want your sleeved cards to be able to be taken out easily, and if you put more or less tiles, you're going to have trouble getting them out. So those fit really nicely on top of there. So that's the insert as a whole and how it's utilized. And it is good for keeping those cards organized. Next, we're going to look inside and under the insert, and this is going to include the Heist log. This is for campaign play. And then you have the rulebook itself. We have the Heist finales, Heist rewards, and then you'll notice that we have the rest of the cards. So we've actually moved stuff around. So first off on the right, though, we do have the rest of the tiles, so a large majority of them. You're going to stack them appropriately. And then on this bottom side, more tiles. And then we have our sets of cards. So in this third one, we're going to have the lounge, the pool, and the dead drops cards. And these are all going to fit nicely into here. Now you want to make sure that all the cards are on a single side of your game board. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble actually taking them out because they are going to get stuck. You have a nice little room in here in the bottom left that you can pull them out easily. We have all the different character cards and their items in this slot. And then in the upper slot, we have the rest of the cards and the character items. And that's it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and put it all back in. So first off, we have all those tiles and cards inside. We've got our heist finales, and then we've got our heist rewards. We've got our rulebook and our heist log. We've got our insert that comes with everything in. Make sure those bouncer cards are on the upper areas on top of some tiles. We'll put the legs in on the sides here. Make sure those are nice and locked in place. We'll roll up the mats really nicely, and you'll slot those in on each side. Now, if you got the Kickstarter edition, it does come with a third mat, and that's for if you decide to play with them when you're using the base game. That third mat is not going to fit in here nicely. It'll make it bulge a little bit, so it's up to you where you want to store that one. But for playing Burgle Bros 2, you just need the 2 mats. And that is everything. And that is organizing Burgle Bros 2, The Casino Capers. If you have any questions about what you saw here, please let me know down in the comments below. How do you organize your copy of this game? Have you had any issues? Are you having trouble with the sleeve? I'm honestly tempted to get some bands to put on here just to keep it wrapped up a little bit nicer than it would if you were going to be using the cardboard sleeve that comes with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I hope some of you found this useful. Thank you so much for watching. Side Game Strong.